It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Stan Shane, the owner of Syracuse Dog Fence, John Murphy, owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. Ed Ware stops by. He's the owner of Ware Brothers Carpet and Duct Cleaning. And then John Kupperman is the owner of Smith's Restaurant Supply. He'll give us the scoop on all things kitchen related. And, sometimes people put stuff in other parts of the house, but generally the kitchen, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. And we're also on YouTube. You can see us. Steve is under the weather and out of his mind and not with us today. So Greg Angwin has joined me. He's a neighbor and old friend. And despite all that, he still came.
Still friends, yes. Yeah.
Still came. Greg, for those of you who don't know, is a paddle expert. You like to do all things paddle sports.
Paddles and rackets, yeah.
Yeah, paddles and rackets. Yeah. You got me into the racquetball back in the day. Yeah. Boy, we were fit then, weren't we?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Fit to be
We're fit now, relatively.
yeah. Just a larger fit for me. But you're into the, what do they call that, ping pong?
Table tennis, yeah.
They don't say ping pong, right?
You can say ping pong, yeah.
Is that not politically correct? Will I get canceled for ping pong?
No cancellation for that. Yeah,
but there's a pretty big there's a league here in Syracuse. Huh?
There's an association, Syracuse Table Tennis Association. Yeah, and they meet a couple times a week. One in Elevate and the other one at the Pastime.
Okay.
So Thursdays and Sundays. Yeah.
How many people?
Altogether, there's probably 15, 20 guys meet each time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you see, is it an Olympic sport? In all seriousness, I don't know if it's
I believe it is.
Yeah. But that thing gets whipping, man. I mean, to be good, not just a casual Sunday player, you got to be good.
Yeah, and athletic, really athletic. It's way more than people think it is. It can be whatever you want it to be, really. Yeah. So
you actually have to wear a knee brace and
the paddles and rackets have gotten much smaller since I've grown older.
Right. Yeah. And you're not wearing a helmet though. So you don't
no.
Good. No. All right. It's our pleasure right now to bring on Stan Shane. He's the owner of Syracuse Dog Fence, SyracuseDogFence.com. How are you, Stan?
Good, Tom.
It's great to see you again. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, it's been a while.
Yeah.
What are you just sort of hibernating during winter? Or?
I don't know. Every time I say, hey, let's have Stan on, Steve says, no, not him. So I don't know what the deal is. I wanted you on. So, Stan, give people a little bit of your background and how you got into Syracuse Dog Fence.
Well, back in the 90s, I had a dog that was tied to the porch, and, it was fun for him until he pulled the leg off.
I was just going to say, did he tear the
porch fell down? So we decided we had to do something. So I put a fence in for myself, and I said, hey, this might not be a bad business to get into.
Right.
So we turned a need into a business.
Gotcha.
And that was back in 2000. So now it's 2023.
Yeah. I'm terrible with math, but that's like 23 years in business.
It's pretty close. I think you couldn't have done better.
Yeah, great. So that's wonderful. So what is your fenceless dog system? What does it involve?
Dogless fence system?
Dogless. So did I say fenceless? Yeah, dog.
Well, we're very similar to the major competitor out there. Matter of fact, the president of Pet Stop, which is the brand that I represent, started this whole industry back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
He grew the company that he started to this huge conglomerate that it is today. And then he left, and once they decided to take their manufacturing to China. And he thought there was things that would be better, like manufacturing right here in the U.S.
Right.
Reading, Pennsylvania.
So are all your collars and everything manufactured here?
Our collars are manufactured right here. Our transmitters are manufactured here.
That's wonderful.
Very good.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
Wire I buy is manufactured up in Camden.
Nice.
So everything is in the U.S.
Excellent.
For the most part. There are some things that we have to buy overseas because you can't get them here.
Yeah, crazy. So, in other words, people can have a pet in their yard with a buried cable and a collar and not have a big, ugly fence boxing themselves in and still contain their animals.
That's right. At my house, I have pretty close to 2 acres, and it's all fenced in with a wire in the ground. I've got 3 beagles. They wear collars. Everybody says you can't contain a beagle. Well, guess what? I opened the dog door like at 8 o'clock this morning, let the beagles out. They run around the yard, do what they have to do, come back in, have their breakfast, and then they're in and out all day.
Wow.
We're not there watching them. We're not leash walking them. I looked out, and, the last time I was down here, I brought Cash with me, if you remember Cash.
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, lovely dog.
Yep. He was out. He was running laps in the yard yesterday.
No kidding.
And then Addie came out, and Addie started chasing him, which was great. You see 2 beagles out there just running around the yard.
And they just never break that fence.
And they
never
don't
go
break
beyond.
the fence.
That's wonderful. Greg, you were kind of on poop patrol around our block there for a while. There was
the people walking their dogs and weren't being considerate with others. But I'm just commenting on the fence. It just gives so much more freedom to you and the animals. Just you don't have to watch them, and they can do whatever they want, and they know their limitations. It's great.
Sure. And it's raining, it's snowing. You don't want to take the dog out.
Right.
Dog door, you open it and let them out.
Yeah.
They go on their own.
So tell us the process of from start to finish. If somebody brings you over to their house, you do a free estimate, and then what happens if they move forward?
Well, I got a call this morning. They saw my truck in the TOPS parking lot in Casanova, and they called and they want an estimate on a dog fence. I'm going to stop at their house and look at it, but they're right around the corner from me. I will send them an estimate through email. They can map out the layout for their yard like that. They have a couple things that they talked about, and then we'll talk on the phone. We'll settle things up. I'll have a good idea of how much wire it's going to take, and I can give them a price on it. Matter of fact, we're putting a fence in today. It's the first one of the year.
Great. How long will it take the process? Like, do people have to wait weeks to have things done, or is it pretty quick?
On Monday, I closed the deal on Monday, and we're putting it in today.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's really quick. That's less than getting a whole physical fence. But
right. That'll have the first training in today, and we'll give them some homework to do and schedule a second training about 3 to 4 days later. After that, if they need us to come back, we'll come back because we want to make sure their dog is going to stay in the yard.
Tell us about the training. Why is that important?
Training is important because the dog doesn't know that, hey, I can't go there. We have to teach them that if you go here, your collar is going to react to the fence. And when it reacts, it makes a sound. And also with that sound is a static correction. We start very, very low with a correction. It's more like a flea biting the dog than anything. And we just condition the response we want of backing up when the bell goes off.
Right.
Dogs learn from that, and then they learn to just stay in.
And you can cover however big the property is, right? You can do a backyard and a front yard or anything you choose.
We've gone up to about 30, 40 acres.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, that's big.
And sometimes we can even go more than that.
Yeah. Well, this sounds like a great option to a great alternative to the option that I was thinking, and that was to just let Mikey and the other dog go and just run away, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it.
My question is, can you do it with cows and
various other animals?
Yeah.
I once did a goat.
Really? See?
That's funny.
And we have dealers that have done pigs and like that.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Just about any animal you can train to it.
That's excellent. Well,
one thing, Tom, I'd like to say about Pet Stop.
Go ahead.
We have rechargeable collars.
Yes.
We have a diagnostic charger which tests the collar, so you know if you got a good collar or a bad collar before you put it on your dog.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about batteries.
Right. Nobody else does that.
Excellent. Well, then call Stan today. Bring him over to the house. Let him check out the property and all that. SyracuseDogFence.com. SyracuseDogFence.com. Real easy. 415-5555. 415-5555. The fence challenge starts right now. You call that number and he'll take care of you. Thank you so much, Stan.
You're welcome. Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you.
Nice meeting you, Greg.
You too.
Attorney John Murphy is coming up next. He's the owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. He'll be on the local show on 570 WSYR.